Hello, everybody. This is Two Peas in the Podcast, and we're back. And this is your Two P Podcasters. It's Maddie and JoJo, the birthday girl. But she's patented that, and if you try to use it, you owe her royalties.
Whoop whoop.
Please, please send them to America. She'll receive it.
I cards, presents, and phone calls all day. Thank you.
Well, it's your birthday, so you've been talking with your dad about stuff, and he didn't want to, huh?
Well, let's just dive into it. Yeah, what's going on with this world right now? We've got normies finding out about the Epstein files, yet still not letting their veil come off their heads, I think.
Pretty bad. Like I've saw some stuff. It was all redacted, like the black rectangle is your friend,
Of
or black rectangles are your friend, and like I saw like a snippet of a video, and I turned that off. I'm like, I don't even want that on my phone. Like I don't know, it's kind of scary actually.
I know, but I think that's the problem with all of us right now that's kind of bothering me is now now that even the normies are getting into the Epstein files, okay, so this is all real. Everybody knows that everything that we tried to tell them years ago is real. But my problem is, why aren't people getting mad?
I knew you were going to say that. I think it's because of cognitive dissonance. I mean, it's still like, I mean, it even affects me. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I don't want to think about how freaking gnarly that is.
And that's what
Like, it's like a shot. It's like, it's PTSD to the system. It's like you just go, like, you recoil from that. You recoil from it. And then, like, I can't, maybe I'll touch, I don't know. I don't even like thinking about it even right now.
but I
It makes me feel dirty.
and but I think that's the problem. That's our downfall as society because man, if we just banded together and forgot about what side everybody's on, banded together for the children, which is what Q always said. The one thing that's going to unite the world is the children. And it's high
Yeah, well,
these adults,
yeah. Oh, no, you're right. That's right. Yeah,
yeah, high time these adults like get out of their cognitive dissonance and start seeing stuff for what it truly is. Like time to come
it's
out of
tough.
Wonderland and yeah. But
Well, a lot of people are just trying to get to work and survive and stuff, and it's just like that's
it's hard. It's hard for everyone.
pretty scary shit to think about, and like, and then yeah. But okay, but the thing is, I can't tell if this is all real or not. But apparently, you're saying that royals are getting arrested.
Prince Andrew.
And I've been sorry, everyone. I was out of it yesterday because I was on the golf course getting rained on.
He was at the
Well,
PGA tournament. He had better things to do. He
on TV.
was hobnobbing it with all the.
Oh my God. I survived. We survived. Hopefully nobody gets sick and dies from God.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody gets pneumonia and has to go to the hospital or something.
Right.
Okay, well, getting back to okay, so tell me about these because I'll try and look it up and see if I can get any more information. But like, tell me more about these royals getting taken down. What is happening?
Well, so far, Prince Andrew was taken away yesterday. Headline read that he was taken away in 6 unmarked cars on his 66th birthday. All
Oh,
anons out there know what that means. So, it was either a calm,
with the six,
yeah,
with the sixes he's talking about, and so sort of like signaling.
yeah.
Well, you were asking me if that was who's doing that, and I think, I mean, it's the White Hats that claim to be in control.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. It's very
Well, I've been thinking
big.
about this as a whole lately, and here's what I think is happening. Okay. Now, if you firmly believe in the Q plan, which I do, I think what is happening and has happened since 2016, 17, when Trump first went down those escalators, and ever since then, is I think this is now we are in the stage of the soft D class. Everything that we went through as Anon 6 years ago got us to be the first to awaken to everything going on. But what I all right, let me try to what I think was happening though is the first of us that woke up needed to happen then so that we could prepare ourselves for the truth so that we can now be the ones to help those waking up to the second round of the Epstein stuff coming out to help them wake up. Do you understand? Like, and not to mention it's soft D class. It's been soft D class for 6 years. Like we keep saying we want things to happen, but if we review the last 6 years, a lot has happened.
Mhm.
And I think we're in the softy class now, which is why people are getting arrested. There's been a lot of Hollywood who has suddenly passed away. Q also said that.
Yeah.
So I think we're supposed to be. We anons, I think, just thought it was going to be a bigger. A I don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think I do. Yeah. 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 I mean, it's a slow walkout, and everything that we thought was going on with these good guys making these moves, and it's happening, but they're doing it now. What I'm seeing is that it's a lot of delayed stuff. The, Apparently, some stuff's already happened. They just don't ever show that, and they'll come back to that, I guess. That way, no one's like can interfere or upset like large swaths of people or whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
And also,
But,
anons, we need to
yeah.
remember too that throughout this whole thing, I mean, how many years have we gone where we're talking to each other and we're like, hey, that isn't the real Joe Biden. That doesn't even look like the real Trump anymore. Hey, that's not the real so and so. Okay. So
Hmm.
they're being taken out, they're being replaced. So what is it that we're waiting for? I firmly believe all the bad people were taken out. They were replaced either by masks or whatever. They've been tribunalized. They've gone through what they needed to, and we just haven't been shown it all yet. But I firmly believe it's all been done.
Um,
That's not the real
yeah.
Clinton. That's not the real Joe Biden. That's not the real Elon Musk. That's I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Putin.
Okay. Then, but what I'm still okay. Yeah. Well, and then all that may be true, totally. And I'm, of course, that's probably true, right? And what I'm trying to put together, what I'm trying to figure out is why Group X is still like in charge of everything.
But are they?
Like, I'm still really upset with the Argentina thing because it's like Malay got in there, then turns out he's the Group X guy, and
Right.
then immediately they start burning land and they're taking over land and stuff, and they're like siphoning the gold out of there, and it seems to be like this whole. And then the other thing that bothers me too is that a lot of these countries that are under sort of like targets on the list also don't have central banks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Venezuela didn't have central banks. Iran,
Okay.
North Korea. I mean, maybe these are like bad examples, but I was just pointing that out. And then the other thing is like the first thing that happened with all the oil from Venezuela, because right, they're super oil rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where did all that oil go? It went over to, Group X land,
Mm-hmm.
where all wealth seems to always just go to magically.
But see, and like you just said, you're like, it just seems like so much is happening lately. And that's I guess my point is I'm kind of seeing through the veil, like all our lives things have happened, right? But it hasn't been such in our face. Now it's like in three
It's
days,
getting
you
it's
know,
ramping up, isn't it?
but it's happening so fast to the point that you have to start questioning and being like, wait a minute. All that happened in 3 days. You're telling me that you took Venezuela down, you got a new president,
Mm.
he was put into office. Then the second day he became a bad guy, found out he was part of the Jewish regime, and now we're taking him down and doing this in 3 days. Like normally that would have been like a 5 year thing of, oh, look what he's done to Venezuela in his presidency. Somebody ought to do something about it. And then we would talk
It
about,
is weird, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah, yeah.
now
I agree.
Whereas now it's like Fox News is like, Hey, Venezuela has a new president, and then 5 o'clock news. Hey, Venezuela has now fired their new president, and then 6 o'clock news. Hey, Venezuela president is now taken into custody by ICE, and then the next, it's like, whoa, whoa. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then now nothing.
and now nothing.
Now there's no, don't think about it either. Like because we're sending all the oil. We're not sending it even to America. Like okay, it's yeah, I don't yeah.
And I think
It,
that's the same thing. I think that's the white hats showing the hand of the Jews, I think,
it's
at this point.
of the group X.
Yeah, because they are.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I saw some other thing yesterday. Just or I don't know. I can't remember what I saw. And it was somebody trying to explain who these people are and that they're actually Turks or something and oh and that the original language of the Bible was Greek and Canaanite, a type of different variations of Canaan, uh, the the old what is it? What am I thinking of? The old part of the Bible with what's that called?
The Old
God, the Old Testament. Oh my God, thank you. The Old Testament was apparently written in Canaanite, and the New Testament was written in like Greek, some sort of form of Greek. I didn't know that. That's what he said.
Hmm.
What do you think of that? Have you ever heard of this?
I mean, I've heard of it, but how do we know it's true? The Bible is a
Well, I
thing.
mean that could be like potentially at least we could set. I could probably like look that up. But I just thought that was weird. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Greek. That makes my mind wander about the whole like Atlantis thing because I like Greek and Atlantis seem to be tied together some sort of intrinsically.
Speaking
I
of
think
it,
they dress the same.
speaking of Atlantis, there's a new special coming out. That's another thing that I feel like we're literally in soft D class right now. Like the shows even that are coming out right now, the documentaries on mainstream media coming out. There's a special on I can't remember what it's called, and I can't remember if it was Netflix that I saw or Hulu. But
Mhm.
yeah, and what's another special? Another special about Epstein is just now out. There's a special about Virginia, the one that just passed away supposedly, or now is in.
Oh, the Godfrey.
Yeah, there's a new special about her all of a sudden. It's like,
Oh, is that's the victim?
yeah.
Mm.
But I've noticed that it's like as soon as they give us a piece of what's happening, like then a new documentary comes out and gives you the complete truth. Do you
Well, maybe. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't vouch for that. Like a lot of times in the past, they would try to put something out like that to
finish?
kind of like
Yes.
band-aid and like kind of like hide things,
Which Netflix
um,
still like that.
or to twist the narrative, like a certain direction. Like, okay, it wasn't, usually it's not the group X people, it's just it's somebody else.
Well, and
But
that's Netflix because that's what they did. There's a new Hitler documentary on Netflix right now, and it started out going really well, but by the end of it, of course, they had spun it, to their
oh well, I mean, they're already like what a week or two ago, it was just like, okay, everybody is like this whole entire thing is like related to Group X and in the country over there, and then they're like, so naturally it's got to be Russia.
I
You're like,
know.
"Oh,
I
okay, well that's right, that makes sense, right?
know.
Yeah, classic. But no, what I was going to talk to you about though, because I didn't want to interrupt you. You're going so well there, but I looked up Prince Andrew arrested. Sure enough, using Google, the enemy search engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it says on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now, whether or not we'll see anything, this is maybe they're testing the waters.
Maybe.
Are people going to get upset? Like I don't know. Like if we tell people about the UFOs, or they can remember that the whole thing was we can't tell people about UFOs because they'll just be rioting in the streets, and then they just do it in Congress. Oh yeah, there's UFOs, and they're they're governed by like intelligent outside non-human entities,
Yeah.
and everyone's just like, oh right, back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even say anything. And which proves couple of different things. It's like one that like you were saying, the people aren't near mad enough. It's because we're so apathetic.
Yes.
You know, we're like we've enslaved ourselves in our minds and in our days, I suppose, myself included, surely. And then also, the other thing is that it was never about us rioting in the streets. They just don't want to tell us anyway.
Yeah.
And so somehow they're being forced to tell us now. So that's interesting.
And that's what I'm saying. They're being forced to show their hand. And that to me, and that's exactly what Q has said. Hey, we're gonna force them out to the light and they're gonna show. And they have to, and they're showing their hand in the most stupidest way. You know?
They do that one a lot. Oh, okay. Let's go back to. Oh, yeah. Okay. Remember when I guess one of those ships? This is years ago now, but like one of the ships broke free and it started like drifting on its own because it was somebody maybe have hacked it,
Yeah.
and there, it was doing like it was drawing like dick and balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I'm sorry, but remember it was doing that. Remember on the map?
Yep.
Do you remember that?
I do.
That's the kind of dumbass crap that I feel like the White Hats constantly do. But I just heard, I mean, no, not to say it, like on purpose, they're doing that stuff, like to be really like
That's a nod to us.
over the top
Uh,
gregarious, but also like, subterfuge too, right?
and it's a nod. I feel like it's a nod to us anons when they do those kind of things. It's just a nod. Like at the Super Bowl. Did you know that Pepe the Frog was at the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I didn't even watch a second of that thing. I
I
couldn't do
didn't
it.
either until I heard that, and then I had to go back and find it. But on the
Uh,
on for a moment while that dumbass was doing his,
that thing's big, man. People love Pepe the Frog. He's so cool.
I know, but what a coincidence that come on, that was a nod for us.
You think?
Oh,
Okay.
100%.
Well, that halftime show. But okay, so the halftime show is like you have two choices. You have like hate white Americans, like, and super gay with like really like pornographic lyrics that shouldn't have. I heard they were gonna try and like fine him or something because none of that should have been on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
The FCC, and I guess I don't know, I forget.
So
Or the other one was like the turning point when you could like tune into like fake Kid Rock and like
I know.
and like turning point is what is that? That is oof, that's some sort of crazy psyop coming out of Group X like land again, with the whole Erica thing and she like there's photos of her like she's a lesbian and she was in like all kinds of relationships that she says she wasn't and like she's wearing leather pants and like jumping out on stage like out doing the whole Charlie Kirk memorial thing. It was way over the top.
Yep.
Uh, it's just wild. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, what is just what we need? But what's the term? We need better psyops, right?
We
That's just-
we totally need that. What? Okay, how about this Savannah?
we deserve better psyops. I guess
What
is what.
about this Savannah Guthrie's mother kidnapping thing? Talk about a side.
Yeah, I have not gotten onto that. I'm like, I kind of, I don't know. I'm like, I just touched down on. I don't even. I can't figure it out.
Yeah,
So you just
here
maybe you could tell me, but
I
I
will.
don't even know who they are.
All right, I'll tell you how this is going down. You talk about a.
Okay,
Okay,
the whole thing's janky.
all of a sudden her mother disappears. Okay,
Okay, well, who is these? Who are these people?
Savannah Guthrie is one of the mainstream media biggest broadcasters out there.
Oh, I see. She's
Okay,
like on what,
so
Fox or something, or
she's on. I think it's NBC.
okay, that's important. NBC because that's a hotbed of
Yeah. And
Satanism.
if you go down the rabbit hole, her husband, the company he works for, is in cahoots with
Okay,
with the
so it's all right. So the whole thing's already janky. So
it's
all
all
right,
right.
it's totally suspicious.
But here's where the psyop comes in. Okay, you
Okay.
got Savannah Guthrie, who everybody other than you knows who it is, getting
Okay.
national
Sorry, people.
getting on national television crying about how her mother's been kidnapped and how
Right. Okay. I did see that.
uh
Okay. Yeah.
there's a ransom letter found that says,
Yes, I caught that much. So that was weird.
okay, now let me tell you, this gets weirder. Okay. So
Okay, all right,
Savannah,
surely.
Savannah, about a week later, her mother still has disappeared. So Savannah
Okay.
comes on to NBC and reaches out to her captor and says, verbatim from the movie
Oh, right, I
Silence,
do remember this.
Silence
Okay,
of
go ahead.
the Lambs,
Oh,
from them, I'm not kidding you, bestie, verbatim says exactly what the mother in Silence of the Lambs says about her daughter who's been kidnapped.
I vaguely remember that too. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Do you
Okay.
remember what the line was? I can
It's something
barely remember
like,
it.
it's something like, she's a loving woman and she's so kind. Talk to her and you'll know.
R- Right, right. So, okay, so that sounds like that goes back to like
Okay,
Andy Dick's brother,
hold on.
where they made him wear that rat mask and go outside.
Hold
Remember?
on. It gets better.
Okay,
So she's made that, right? Guess who
okay.
guess who just came out 3 days ago and has made headlines? The
I got,
guy
I,
the guy that played, what was his name? Buffalo Bill in the movie?
oh, okay.
The
What
trans
about him?
the trans dude?
Right. Okay. So what about him though? What happened? What did he
Okay.
do?
So the actor who played the guy
Yeah,
in the movie that many years ago. Okay,
I can picture him in my head. Yeah.
so you have Savannah out here verbatim using movie quotes. Now you've
Hmm.
got the actor who played the trans guy in the movie coming out being like, I am so sorry for the part that I played in that movie. I should never have made trans look so bad. Okay.
Huh.
And, and now you have Trump. How many times in the last 6 years has Trump come on and everybody thought he was crazy at the time? But for 6 years, Trump's been at the microphone every rally going, man, wait, shoot, what's the guy's name? The guy that wore the mask in the movie.
The guy that wore the mask in the movie in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, the one she went and talked to in prison to find. Uh,
Sir Anthony Hopkins. What was I don't remember his name though in the movie. Let me look.
yeah, look it up.
Okay. Okay, well, let's just do this. Silence of the Lambs cast. Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. How many times over the last 6 years has Trump in a microphone at a rally been like, Hannibal Lecter, man, he was a good guy. Oh, incredible. Best guy I've ever known, that Hannibal Lecter. Now,
What? I've never heard that. Really?
yes, yes,
What? What?
yes.
You can form. Oh, okay, well, I'll have to look that up. I don't know.
Oh,
All right.
look it up. He has said it at
That's
least,
weird thing to say.
uh-huh, very weird. Unless all of a sudden it all comes to fruition right now. So, but come on, how many
Okay.
coincidences till it's mathematically impossible?
What? Um.
So
I
here's
mean,
what
it's
I
weird.
okay, so here's how I think it's going to go down, this whole Savannah Guthrie thing, right? Let's see if I'm
Let's see.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So she's still
Hmm.
kidnapped, still ransom note out there, still saying, I'll pay, just bring my mom home safely. So, how,
This is still going on, I guess.
yeah, still going on. How beautiful that the ending of the psyop is they find mom at the border having been kidnapped by an MS-13 drug gang member. And now Savannah Guthrie, who's been, we need to do something with ICE. They're taking our neighbors away. How beautiful is it going to be? Now she has to get on national television and thank ICE for saving her mom.
Okay. That
Ah,
would be funny. That would be hilarious.
ah.
Well, we'll see how it plays out.
I think that's,
We'll have a bit of fun with that one and to see if what happens.
I mean, you talk about 5D chess. That's a chess move like no other.
If that does play out. Okay, but there's hang on. There's some other. Let me go over here. There's some other royals that have been
Oh yeah, you said somebody else.
uh, arrested as well. So I should go and see. Well, it looked like somebody from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
and it was the kid, a kid, not a kid. He was the son or something, the prince, I guess, and he looked like he was like 20 or something. He didn't look very old.
Oh.
And anyway, for rape or something, and his mom had something to do with the being on the island. She was like named in the whatever on the island somehow.
Um,
Wait, I just had it. Hang on. Shoot.
the new mayor of New York's mom was in the Epstein files.
Right, we talked about that last time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, you know he was placed there by the subgroup.
Of course,
Yep.
of course. And I wonder, like, yeah, and there's still, okay, and there's still a lot of stuff going on with the big push on Greenland.
Yes.
Oh. And this whole Arctic thing. And, there's a thing up there called the distant early warning,
Mm.
like the dew line. And the distant early warning is if, like, oh, if, Russia or America fires missiles,
Oh yeah, yeah,
nuclear missiles, which it's debatable whether they even have that potential.
yeah.
Apparently, this you've heard this, and also there's like talk that these off-worlders have shut it down. I've seen video of it, uh, of the missile being fired right here in California, and a UFO shows up and like lasers it, like as it's flying, as this missile's flying at like probably super hypersonic speed. It's like it lasers it, and the missile just starts dropping, and then he lasers it, like he lasers it again. The UFO comes around, lasers it again, and then the whole thing falls out of the air.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the claim is that they won't allow any nuclear weapons like that. Um, and it's not the first time I've heard that, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
There's also a thing, I don't know if you know about this. This is like right after the 2000s, and BBC broadcasting on TV was like taking over, and it was hijacked, and there was a message, and the message was, "This is Ashtar Command." You can look this up and go look this up. People probably have it recorded, and then they give a whole message about it being Ashtar Command, and like back then to be able to like hijack a radio station is like almost impossible,
Yeah.
unless you have like gnarly technology because you're an off-worlder, right? So I think what we're seeing too is that like these off-worlders are coming into play. Trump kind of talked about that the first term, but this term seems to be about like letting Group X do whatever they want.
Yes.
And I don't know, I don't like it. It's a dangerous game. I don't know.
But like we've discussed before, Group X has always been in control. I find it ironic, coincidental, that in the last 6 years, not only has their secretive work been pushed to the light, but it's also been accelerated to the point that we're all seeing it in real time. Like we they never made it this clear to us what they were doing. And it's like now we all know, we're just not saying it. We all know who the elephant in the room is. We're just not ready to admit it.
Oh, well, now, but you could be arrested if you even mention it,
And that too.
or if you deny something else, as they call it, deniers.
Right.
If you don't buy the lie, or if you talk about the lie, you will be. You, I could certainly be put in jail, and they're trying to seem to try to push you for that. I think Florida passed some sort of law like that too. I don't know. That's dangerous business when laws start getting passed because they don't just get unpassed, do they? Not that I've seen. That's not been my experience.
Right. And how
Uh,
and
right?
how can you truly
Mhm.
call us like anti-Semitic and all of that when we're just trying to understand the truth of our history? I'm not saying every subgroup A is bad. I'm not saying every one of them is bad, but I'm saying
Well,
ones that are
yeah.
bad know they're bad and know what they're doing.
Well, there's two things. One is that they outrightly say that it's a weapon that they use whenever they need it.
Sure.
There's all kinds of video of that where you hear him say that. But the other thing is that underneath everything is this like mafia mentality, and it keeps like creating mafia situations where um they're doing one thing but saying one thing and doing something completely different,
Yep.
and it's always like nefarious, and there's always like so there's all and then there's like many layers, so there's things going on that they're saying, oh, we're just an NGO and we're just trying to help people, and then like underneath that is like they're like laundering money, and then underneath that then there's like this lawfare, or like legality workarounds and stuff, and then they're like scamming the system, and then they're laundering money, and then below that then there's like murder, and like and what's the word I'm looking for, intimidation, right? Yeah, and it takes all forms, and I think it's all tied into the gangs and stuff. I mean, and then you've got it that's permeating like the governments and things, and the police force. Right now things are being held together by like rubber bands and like band-aids at the moment. Everything's about to fall apart if a lot of these things aren't like allayed, and at least spoken about, because how can you ever solve a problem if you're not allowed to speak about it, right?
Right.
That's how communism works, because now they can do whatever they like because you can't talk about it, right? So
And the thing that like kind of like fires me up about the whole situation is I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to be an
sure,
expert. I
you
just
should be.
right. But my thing is like you open the Epstein files, tell me how many times they refer to you, me, and all of us as going,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, okay. That's another thing, is that a lot of these things are never going to go back into the toothpaste isn't going back into the tube.
mm-hmm.
All this stuff's out of the box, and people are remembering it. They're retaining it, especially like the younger generation. They're retaining it, and they're doing stuff. So maybe this is part of the plan too. I don't know. There's a lot more talk about the y-axis group, and I say the y-axis group because then there's like on a graph there's like group X, and then you'd have to like to graph it, you'd have to have a cross group. So I'm not using the word axis for any other reason than I just thought just an easy way, like a workaround code.
Well,
But it's kind of funny that it does end up being like y-axis groups. Kind of funny. Anyway,
well, and you just
but
you just said how the younger generation. I want to hit that real quick. You said the younger generation is even waking up to it, which I am loving and
we're talking about it.
but
Yeah.
I just recently watched this video and it really hit me. And I feel the same. Is this guy in the video? He's like, listen, wait, this is to all the adults out there right now. I'm a teacher and I want you to know that, yes, our younger generation is informing themselves. They are getting involved, they are researching. But I want you to also understand that these are children who are getting into the Epstein files and they are reading what they are doing to children in the and they are talking about it. But he's like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
my problem right now though is humanity, because I'm a teacher and these kids are coming to me saying, "Hey, look at what's in the Epstein file." He goes, "But what saddens me is the next thing out of their mouth is, but why isn't my mom and dad mad about this, and why aren't they protecting me from it?"
Mm.
And it's like that.
Well, if that's a true story, like, but how would you protect them from it? You mean
Okay,
from that happening in the world, or from them seeing it?
okay. So let's say
How did you mean
let's
on
say
that?
Jack dives deep into the Epstein files today, comes back to you later and says, "Hey, I read that they are doing satanic rituals on children and then they're eating their flesh and drinking their blood. Is this true?" Like,
It's
you
a
would have,
3,000-year-old.
but you would have a talk with them. You would. You'd be like, you know what?
Oh, absolutely. I would. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of these parents aren't. And it's like, so these
I don't
kids,
think they know what to talk about.
and that's the problem.
They're
That's
they're
what,
they're not like
they're not mad enough.
they're not as spurred like me.
And they're not,
You
they're
know, they're not.
scared. They're
Well,
scared.
they probably don't. They probably have no idea about any of this stuff. They just, they're just sort of, maybe they're just finding out about it too, and the kids found out about it sooner. They're not looking into it.
Well, and they're
You
the
know,
same
back to
people.
the apathetic thing.
And they're the same people that mocked us 6 years ago. So I'm sure they're,
Oh well, it's easy to mock people.
I know,
You
but
know,
now, but now they're
that's the first sort of like release valve when cognitive
cognitive
dissonance.
dissonance, yes. But what I'm
So
saying is
we're all guilty of that.
you made fun of us 6 years ago for it, but now you're sitting in this truth as your own. That's my problem.
Well,
So wait a minute. I was crazy 6 years ago because I brought this information to you because I was passionate and I was ready to stand up and save these kids. You mocked me, you walked away from me, you blocked me, but now you're awake and you're coming to me saying, "Hey, have you heard about these Epstein files?" I have.
yeah.
What are we
So,
going to do about it now?
so did you have people block you and stuff like that for reals and mock you?
Oh, in my whole real life, everybody left me, bestie. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, from work and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I lost my job. My dad stopped talking to me. He thought I'd lost my mind. All my friends from high school and around this area thought I'd lost my mind. Oh yeah.
All right.
But now
See,
they're all coming back being like, "Hey," and it's like, "Oh, hi. Oh, I'm not crazy now. Okay, thanks."
mm,
It's just
yeah, this is just a small trickle
it is.
as to what's coming. But what I have learned, though, okay, just to stay on the current event sort of thing frame, I did like like a very cursory dive into Pam Bondi, and I'm like, oh man, she's terrible.
She is. She's not, yep.
Pam Bondi's terrible. She's not our gal,
Uh,
unfortunately.
He's
She's swarming up to the usual suspects.
Yeah, she was put in the spotlight for a reason though. She's gonna have her demise. But yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So,
A
what time we have right now?
a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah. I want to find that article of this other royal. Let me see if I can. I don't know why I can't. Oh, let's see. Maybe I could just Google it. Let's try that.
I just know we all need a rest here in the United States too. Like I know that's a big thing and I know a lot of people are scared out there. I we all were when we all got the information first too. We were all out of our minds about it, just sick over it. And so just find your nearest anon. I promise you. We will help you.
It's so. I mean, the photos are one thing, and reading emails and stuff is one thing. But when you see a snippet of a video, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, good God. Oh, and actually, I did see an image, and I was like, oh my God, no, I don't want to ever see that again. And and that's just like nothing. And then we haven't even gotten to the part where we're like cutting people's faces off and stuff.
I was going to say there were
And then that gets back to like we talked about this in the other podcast about how the what did I call it? The frazzle drip episode of The Office where Dwight,
yeah,
who I remember his name now, Rainn Wilson,
yeah.
he cut the face off the CPR dummy that they're supposed to be learning a CPR on, and then they wore it on his face. Now that's an interesting, that's really weird, specific kind of reference. But it goes even deeper. Just to stay on The Office, there's later episodes where, and I explained. Remember, we were talking about this, how like they thought they could start being more openly like satanic and openly out there with their little like tongue in cheek inside jokes,
Yeah.
and no one was going to do anything about it, right? And like Seinfeld and Friends, Hail Satan and doing the devil signs and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But with The Office, on later episodes, so when they're like trying to replace Michael, he they end up what's his name? Uh, the guy that does Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey's on the show, and he's like over the top talking about the Finger Lakes.
Yeah.
So you can go and find that episode, and it's like two scenes where he's just constantly going crazy about the Finger Lakes. Like, I got to get back to the Finger Lakes, and um, they'll think I'm gone missing, and then Jim Carrey's like the head of the Luciferians in Hollywood, right?
Mm.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep.
And that's really weird. And there was another person that was, oh, freaking Robert, Robert California is the character's name, and he's like talks. There was something else, some weird little insight. It might have been the Finger Lakes again. And if you know about the Finger Lakes, that's where people go missing, and all this human trafficking was going on apparently. And it's like or they made him tattoo it on his back, and that's
Joe Biden's
uh,
son,
Joe Biden's son. What's his name?
Hunter.
Hunter Biden has the Finger Lakes on his back.
I was just gonna
Now,
say,
all separately, it's just odd,
any
but together, it's weaving a very weird picture.
yeah,
This very strange picture starts to emerge.
any of our listeners right now who have not gone down the Finger Lakes rabbit hole, please do so, and then also search for Hunter Biden's back tattoo. Yes.
Weird,
Yep.
weird.